Welcome in, race fans, to another edition of the NeSmith Weekly Series Hotline. I was absent last week, off shooting racing across this great nation of ours, part of the USA Nationals deal up there in New Richmond, Wisconsin. Back this week, we're going to combine this week's show with last week's results. On the telephone, current points leader, Mickey Trosclair, driver to 521. Mickey, you guys are holding it down. Talk to me a little bit.
Yeah, we've been doing pretty good. 2 weeks ago, we struggled on a Friday night, but we found the problem and was able to get it back together for Saturday, and then it worked out pretty well this past weekend also. We've just been working a lot, just trying to stay on top of these points. It's getting real close, getting close to the end, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you allude to the fact that the points are close. You're only leading by 3 over Chase Washington. You spoke of the problems you had last week. You guys were at Hattiesburg. You ended up running 4th. I mean, what were the what were you having problems with in particular?
We was lacking side bite and forward bite, and we got to looking at a few things that could have caused it, and we took care of the problem. And like I said, we run it that Saturday, and it was pretty good. And then this past weekend, we went back to Hattiesburg where the problem was, and we was able to run well.
Yeah, you got back to Hattiesburg, and you topped Michael Arnold, Shannon Lee, and Jeffrey Lawson. So evidently, whatever it was, you guys had got it fixed. So you picked up 2 wins over the weekend. The 4th place probably hurt you. It's probably what closed the gap, but you guys followed up a couple wins. Who are you, when you look at this top 20, this top 25, or this top 10 of drivers? Who among the top 10 or so are you most afraid of? Is it Washington, Palestini? Are they all capable in your mind?
I mean, we ain't afraid of none of them. I mean, we're gonna race it to the end. I mean, they all run real good. They all strong. They all clean drivers. I mean, I got to race with Chase quite a few times this year, and I mean, he's run me clean. I run him clean. There were some close races. He was there this past weekend. I don't know. Somebody said he had some trouble in a feature. That's why he pulled off. But I raced against Shaw, I think, 2 or 3 times at Hattiesburg. I mean, he's run me clean. I mean, it's all guys that's capable of winning, and one of them might just win it. You know, we're just gonna have to play it out, see what happens. We're just gonna keep on racing and try to win. I mean, if we win races, we ought to win a championship.
Well, here's a good question for it. Would you rather it be interesting, the points race, interesting like it is right now, or would you rather it be just so far out of contention that now you win it? I mean, what would you rather have? What's more exciting to you?
Oh, this is definitely more nerve-wracking than being close like this. That's for sure. I mean, I kind of wish it was a little bit further apart, or I wish it was the end, you know. But oh well, we just gonna see what happens. I think we'll be all right as long as we just keep moving along and nothing major happens. We should be all right.
Well, if winning championships are easy, Mickey, nobody would want to win them, right?
You're right.
Well, all right.
I always said I would never points race again, but got myself stuck in this, so I'm but fight it to the end.
Well, so you don't like points racing, or I mean, it's not any fun?
No, I don't really care for it. It's just you gotta, try to conserve on your equipment. Me, I like to just go out there and race to win. Not really worry about the next night. Well, now we got to worry about the next week, So.
Well, I would think, though, and this is just me thinking out loud, I would think it would make you more patient of a driver when it comes to points racing. Would that maybe be?
It definitely does. I mean, we've raced on the same body all year long. Normally, we'd have done changed it 3 times.
So you're a little more reckless with.
Yeah, my dad says it's amazing whenever you run out front. You really don't get your car tore up. I said, well, I'll try to keep it that way.
Yeah. Well, all right, Mick. We won't keep you. Congratulations over the weekend, picking up the 2 victories. Stay on top of the points list. I mean, you've been right there all season, and so has half these other guys. So I wish you continued success, and keep fighting towards getting to Georgia as the winner.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Thank y'all.
Before we let you go, thank your sponsors and the guys that help you run up front.
All right, I'd like to thank J. Dunn Sandblasting and Painting, Brook and Fence, and Anita Steak Burgers, my mom, my dad, just everybody that helps, Scott Bloomquist of Team Zero, just everybody that helping, my crew guys, Andre, Jeffrey, Jeff, Blake, just everybody. I mean, they helping, and I appreciate everything that everybody's doing for me.
All right, race fans, we've talked to Mickey Trosclair, who's leading the weekly series points. On the telephone, the guy in the second position, 3 points out, the pilot of the 38 Barry Wright race car, Greg Sawmill-sponsored Jerryman Racing, Indian Ridge Lumber-sponsored race car, Chase Washington. You guys have, last week, or 2 weeks ago, hell of a run. Two wins in 3 races this last weekend. Maybe not the best of performances, but talk us through the last couple of weeks of your racing.
All right, like you said, 2 weeks ago we went to Hattiesburg, the Bull Ring in Columbus, and Magnolia on Sunday. Won 2 in a row. Friday night we started out at Hattiesburg. I think we qualified third, and we won our heat race, and we were starting third in the feature, and we dropped the green, and we was kind of all there around the bottom. And caution come out, and that I think Lee, he chose the inside, and that put me up on the outside. And the race had been right around the bottom there for at least a little bit, and I was thinking that I might could. Arnold was leading it, and I was thinking that I might could try him up on the top. And when we dropped it stuck when I put it up there, and we come by Arnold and had us put race there for a couple of laps, and we ended up bringing it home Friday night.
Well,
Saturday night at the Bull Ring, we set quick time and led every lap and won there also.
Now, that really probably, that win that beating Trosclair probably really is what closed the gap as he finished 4th in that race there at Hattiesburg. But then fast forward, so you guys would you end up like 3rd or something at the 3rd race? Second, you ended up 2nd at Magnolia Motor Speedway.
Yeah, we run 2nd, led every lap probably. I think it was 2 to go. I got in lap traffic, and then Jeremy Shaw got by me. But, I mean, that's how it goes. You win some and you lose some in lap traffic. He was second place, has always got the advantage behind the leader in lap traffic, and put it where it needed to be, and he come home with the win.
It just seems like we can't say Chase Washington without just saying Jeremy Shaw. Do you guys kind of like? Well, it just seems like you're always door to door or always swapping for the lead. When you see him in the pits, what's it do for you?
I mean, it kind of boosts my program up when I see him, because when I see him going through the gates, I know I'm going to have to be on top of my game, because I know he's going to be pretty good, and there's a bunch of other ones that's going to be pretty good. I mean, you've always got to be on your game when you show up to the racetrack, no matter where you race. Yeah, I mean, the Mississippi guys, I mean, just hands down, and I can't have any favorites, but I mean, those are the races there when you go there. Listen, the locals have really done really well against our touring guys whenever we showed up. So, yeah, Jeremy Shaw and you guys, I love seeing you guys at the same racetrack. Now, coming into this past weekend here, you guys weren't worth a crap at Hattiesburg, was you? We was good. I screwed ourselves out of Friday night. I spun out qualifying, and that put us way behind the 8 ball. I think we run 3rd in our heat, and started 7th or something like that in the feature. And when we pulled out on the racetrack, it was drizzling a little rain, and they was in a hurry to try to get it done. So, I mean, we pulled out, and it was raining a little bit while we was racing. But I worked my way up to 4th, and I believe we was pretty good to come home in the top 3. And but I run out of tear-offs. And when it's raining and it mixes together, you just can't. I tried to wipe my shield, but it all smeared, and I couldn't see. So we pulled off, and before we tore anything up. So
yeah, well, that's probably smart. Well, then you guys kind of redeem yourself. You head over to Jackson Motor Speedway, and you park in 2nd place for the evening. Tell us a little bit about that event.
We went back to Clyburn, and then Jimmy and Jason Clyburn, and them's race shop there, and washed the car up and everything Saturday morning, and we knew we was going to have to be pretty good there, too, because we had guys like Lee and Arnold and Daniel Bridgman and a bunch of those guys roll in. So we knew we was going to have to be pretty good. And we qualified fourth. They locked in the top 6. We locked in. And when the race started, we just rode and rode and ended up coming home second. Missed 1,000 we missed it by $1. And I rolled back into the trailer, and it was funny. My little nephew, it was his second race to come watch me, and he come out walking out of the trailer and handed me $1, so we made 1,000.
So here you are. Yeah, it's getting pretty late in the season. You're 3 points back from Mickey. You guys are doing what you're supposed to. You're going to all these different tracks. You're trying to improve your 16 races. What can you do to avoid those 10th places at Hattiesburg and try to win this deal?
Yeah, we just got to make sure we put in all the hours at the shop every week. Maintenance is a big key in racing. You got to keep stuff together, and you got to stay on top of everything. And we just got to make sure we stay on top of everything and make sure everything goes right and have a little luck. And with a little luck, I believe we might pull it out.
Well, as you know, the Touring Series is making some stops there at Meridian, and for the Coke 075, and we'll be up at Magnolia that same weekend, the end of the month, or the beginning of September for the Black Ice 40. We can expect to see the 38 car there, can we?
Right. We'll probably make one of those shows, hopefully, if everything goes right. And we don't tear anything up on Friday or Saturday. I mean, maybe we can make one of them. I really hope so.
Well, all right. Well, Chase, before we let you get out of here, you know the deal. Thank some of them sponsors and also the people that help keep that car up front.
I'd like to thank my crew chief, Joel Murphy, my mom and my dad for the support, my whole family for the support, Greg Sawmill, Indian Ridge Lumber, R&R Welding, 45 Race Shop, Gillespie Racing Fuels, JRI Shots, Being Right. I believe that's it, but if I'm missing any of them out, they know who's on.
Welcome back in, NeSmith fans, to the Weekly Series Hotline. On the telephone for his second appearance on the hotline here was the 56 GRT by Fry Redding Farms pilot, Mr. Bubba Harrison. Bubba, you're back, brother. Another win, a big win. You topped Jordan and Barrett and Policini. What'd you like to beat those guys?
Oh man, it's really tough to get a win there, and we unloaded pretty good. We changed a couple things up on the car this week and just trying some new stuff, and it really worked. I think we really found something, and Jordan was a little faster. He beat me in the heat race. I went down in the bottom, about lost the car, and I regrouped, and he got in front of me. I couldn't capitalize on him, so I started fourth in the feature, and the half side was working pretty good in 1 and 2, and we got around 2 cars on the bottom, and then I worked on Jordan for about a lap and got around him in 1 and 2, and then I got out front, and I didn't get any more challenges the rest of the race.
So, and of course, we're talking about Greenville Speedway, Greenville, Mississippi. Now, tell me about the wall. They put the wall up around the thing. Has it changed the way that everybody's had to drive that thing? And go ahead.
Not really. It kind of moves the groove a little closer to the bottom. The top side still works a little bit. I mean, Greg Ford used it to win the NeSmith race earlier in the year, and some nights it's good up top. Sometimes nights is good in the bottom, but this past weekend they had a little bit of moisture in the track, and you're racing the middle of the track to the top of the track, so it was pretty good this weekend.
Has anybody been introduced to the new wall that you can recollect?
There's been a couple of them that's actually hit it and went over it.
Oh, that ain't good.
Yeah, Lamar Furr totaled his car out. He in the NeSmith race, he went over that. I ain't never seen a race car go that far up in there.
Only reason I ask is when a track gets reconfigured, it seems like the old guys have a tougher time. Not the old guys, but the veterans of the speedway have a tougher time adjusting. An example would be Green Valley Speedway here locally. They brought the racetrack in on the back stretch, so there wasn't a wall. and that was what, 07, 08, somewhere around there. And there was more first-time winners that year in the late model division, just because the old guys were having a harder time to adjust to it than anybody who may show up new. You know, they don't have the habits of the old Green Valley. Congratulations on your big win over the weekend, and Greenville's just one of them speedways. If you win there over the competition that shows up, then you've really done something. So congratulations. Before we let you get out of here, thank your sponsors, and also I want you to thank some of your crew members.
Okay, I'd like to thank Redden Farms and Bill Fry Motorsports. Also, I'd like to thank Isaac Tree Service and C&W Graphics. And I'd like to thank my mom and dad. Me and my dad were about the only ones that worked on the car week in and week out. And we're the only ones that fund it, other than a little bit of help that our sponsors give us. And we got a couple of guys that remain to be anonymous, but they help out a lot too on the car. And I thank them very much. And I'd like to thank my wife again.
Welcome back in, race fans, to the NeSmith Weekly Series Hotline. On the telephone for his first appearance on the hotline, driver of the 23F Shaw Race Car, Sweet Caroline Antiques machine, Mr. Joe Forman. Joe, thank you for interrupting your move-in there at the University of Arkansas. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good after coming off that first win.
So you guys race at West Plains. Robbie Moore, he's been on the hotline with us here, and also at Roger Witt. What's it like to race with them guys up there at West Plains?
It's pretty awesome. Roger Witt's been dominating up there, so we've had a target on him. And Robbie Moore's been really fast up there. And, it was just good competition. It was a really good race. We were side by side the entire night, and we finally came away with the win.
Now, is this your first year with the NeSmith Series, and have you always raced crate?
No, this is our third year in the crate car.
Is it?
We ran a modified before that.
Okay, so this is your first season with running NeSmith then, sanctioning.
Yeah, it's the second year with NeSmith.
Well, as a young driver, tell me what it's like to have a series that you can run for points with, and without really having to do a whole bunch of traveling.
I really enjoy the series. I think it's really competitive with all the motors, and you get to know the guys you're racing with every week, and I really enjoy the series.
Now, do you guys get what other tracks may be in your wheelhouse other than West Plains?
We used to run Batesville last year, but they're no longer sanctioned, and we went to Malden this year. We're kind of on a short schedule this year, so we've been mostly racing West Plains.
All right. Now you told me as I called you today, we got on the phone. You're really literally moving into the to the dorm at Arkansas. So you're a big football fan as well?
Oh yeah, Woo Pig Steelers for sure.
we got tons of guys who race with us who are big fans of college football, especially the SEC. And the NeSmith footprint is about the same as the SEC now that Missouri's joined the fray.
Right.
Before I let you get out of here, I want you to thank your sponsors and thank some of the guys who helped get that car up front this past weekend.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank my grandparents, Carol and Gary Guglamana. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't even be in this. And both my parents, Greg and Pam Forman, and my brother, Anthony Forman. And we got a lot of help from Jeff Taylor, and I really appreciate his help. And I appreciate Rock Hard Powder Coating, Reeves Propane, and Jag Motorsports.
Now, before I let you go, I think you got one more message to give to a couple guys, don't you?
Yeah, Chase Washington, Jeremy Shaw, they better watch the Hogs this year.
So, Pig Suey.
Blue Pig Suey.
All right, well, Joe, go out and get you another win. Good luck at college, and hopefully we can talk to you again.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, race fans, another newbie, another guy that's not been on the hotline with us. We've got Thomas Lewis. He's the pilot of the number 5 Masters build, Greens Propane, Lewis & Sons. Thomas, you guys have had a rough couple of weeks leading up to this victory. Kind of talk us through the problems you guys have been going through as a team.
Yeah, well, we had that Tuesday night race over in Phoenix City. We qualified outside pole. And right off the start, we had problems with our carburetor. We were getting the gas, and it would stumble on us, and we just could never get it going ever since then. And And the weekend after that, we qualified on pole again, and we, second lap into the race, the school stripped out in the rear end, and it's just been tough on us.
So, I mean, when you guys, this late in the season, it's hot, it's miserable, and dumb stuff's happening. What's that do to the whole crew? I mean, does it just get you guys down in the dumps?
It does, it really does. And this past weekend, we ended up qualifying on pole and winning, and it really helped us out a lot. But it's really frustrated us. You know, it's making us a better team, but still, it's making everything more complicated.
Anytime you guys, any team, no matter if it's you or anybody, but anytime you can work through adversity and then cap it off with a win, so to speak, it's got to be a big boost. So talk to us about what the demeanor was like of the team once you guys got to East Alabama over the weekend, and what were you expecting more bad stuff to happen?
Well, we thought maybe we had all the bugs worked out, but you never know. We actually, 13 laps into that race, we started overheating, and we had one caution that helped us out, and then before the end of the race, we were overheating again, so I thought I wouldn't be able to finish that race because of the overheating problem. So we were lucky to get that win in.
All right, well, talk us through the evening. Did you guys qualify? How did qualifying go this past weekend, and did you start on top?
Qualifying went very well. We qualified on pole, and that put us in a good position. And as the race started, we got a really good start on the beginning of the race, and we pulled off early. And the caution came out around lap 13 or so, and Montana, he kind of got underneath me there for a little bit, and then we were able to hold off the win. So it was pretty good.
Well, all right. Well, before we get you out of here, we kind of got a tradition here. We thank all of our sponsors and also thank the crew members who have stuck with you through all the problems, and finally, you guys get to victory lane.
All right. Yeah, I'd like to thank Lewis & Sons and Green's Propane and Davidson Sons. And also I'd like to thank my crew, my mom, my dad, my brother, a few of my people that helped me, Josh Harris, Keith, and Jonathan Foxworth and Dustin Elliott for helping us out.
All right, NeSmith fans, we're going to end the Weekly Series Hotline with a friend of mine named Mr. Chad Wallace, driver of the 34 GRT Race Products Incorporated, Wallace Construction, BTR-sponsored race car. Chad, you guys pick up a big victory over there at Penton Raceway. Does it feel good to beat Chase at his own track?
Oh, yeah, it's always nice to outrun Chase at his track here when it's in his backyard, you know.
Well, this is you guys' actual third win on the season. Talk to us a little bit about that second win you guys got.
We was a few weeks back. We've had about a month off over there. We had a good car that night. Chase had taken the weekend off and ended up just racing Stacy Holmes' son. I think his name's Brett Holmes, and a couple other cars. And Brett actually gave me a little run for my money. I was trying some stuff there, and we was able to hang on for the win. But he was there the whole night, and it was just a nice little win. Anytime you can get a win, that's always good. So that was pretty simple second win of the season there at Penton. So.
Now, August 3rd, you guys had a little stiffer competition this past weekend with Chase Edge and Dana Island. How'd this weekend transpire?
Well, we was thinking it was going to be a little better. Chase was over there, and, you know, he's always tough at his track, and we wasn't sure that Dana was going to make it for qualifying, and he got there and made it in for qualifying. He ended up turning a quicker lap than I did. And
damn it.
He started on the pole, and I started outside, and Chase was third, and I think Cord started fourth, and we fired off there, and Dana, he always pulls a lot more gear than I do, so I was thinking if I can just get this puppy rolling, if I can stay with him down the front chute, I'm going to run this thing in there about 5 car lengths deeper than he does. It's either going to stick or it's going to go out here in these pine trees, because I knew that was the one shot to get him. And so we drove her off in there, and it stuck, and we led all 20 laps, and I don't know, but they said it was a pretty decent victory there. So, and, you know, working lap traffic and just keeping the nose clean was fun, so we was able to get a win, so we appreciate everything that Penton does for us, you know.
Well, you guys, I know that you guys haven't raced as much as you wanted to, but you've kind of been going back and forth between driver and flagman, and you were fortunate enough to work with the NeSmith series over that 4th of July weekend. How'd that experience go?
Yeah, we've been doing some flagging at Phoenix City for about 4 or 5 years now, and I've been helping out at Penton and racing over there some too. When I don't pull the duties over there, I let my dad flag, and over the big race weekend, Dad doesn't have enough experience flagging, so I decided I'd set him out and flag. And I've always enjoyed working with Mike. He runs a tight ship and gets a good race running and everything, so it all worked out good. And then on Friday night, the second night of the Penton Raceway deal over there on 4th of July, he asked me would I be interested in coming helping him out at Albany, and I said sure. So we rode down there and ended up flagging his race down there at Albany Motor Speedway, and it worked out real nice. I enjoyed it, and I don't know, maybe the future will bring more working with Mike or something. Who knows? You can't never tell, but it was fun, and I really appreciated the opportunity of doing it.
All right. Whatever happens with that deal, just you can pal around. That'd be pretty cool. Now, for people who haven't been to Albany, first off, this year we've had 3 great nights of racing at Albany Motor Speedway, and it's definitely going to end up being one of the crown jewel tracks for NeSmith. But that flag stand, okay, first the setup of the speedway is opposite. Was that a weird thing to deal with?
Yeah, Mike, we went down there the first race of the season and watched y'all, and Mike, he had a real tough time on the receiver, and naturally so. I mean, anybody would, and he did a lot better this time, but it's real confusing. I mean, it's normal when you look out the flag stand, seeing the cars coming from your left, that's turn 4, no problem. But then you look across the straightaway there, and you see a tower, and it's like, what in the hell is going on here?
And it is what it is. But that flag stand you were in, that's 4 miles high, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty high. I mean, they got a great facility there, but it is a little not to my liking on the flag stand because it was high on the chest, and you couldn't really lean over, and you felt like the cars couldn't actually see what flag you was actually waving them. But everybody said they could. Yeah, Ben Sumner and them guys over there got a great place. I mean, and we're certainly just having a little bit of fun with the height of the flag stand. It probably is really only 3.5 miles high. That's right.
But as far as the racing goes, Albany is just, and what's great about it is those guys are just so thrilled to have us there, and not that any of our tracks aren't thrilled to have us there, but Albany just really, and the fans seem to enjoy it. The fans are packed out again, like they were in the spring. Right, they had a good crowd of people on hand there that night, so it's always good for any local track that can pull a crowd nowadays. Is a good deal. Well, all right, Chad. Well, congratulations on the 3rd win of the season. Hopefully we'll see you back in a NeSmith jersey, so to speak. Doing some. I know you'd rather be racing, but if you're anything like me, if you can't race, you want to be working around it. So right. I love driving. Don't get me wrong, but when the pocketbook don't let you drive, I want to be a part of it some way, and that lets me be a part of it. So. That's right. Well, before I let you get out of here, thank some of the sponsors and also thank some of the crew that helped you get your 3rd win on the season. All right. I'd like I said, we need to thank my dad with Wallace Construction and my mom and my wife. If they wasn't for them, I couldn't do none of it. But then got Race Products. Rick, he helps me out a ton. I work for him during the week when I'm not working at UPS, so he helps me out. Audio Trends, Ben Thomas Racing, Speed Stuff Graphics. They keep my car looking nice for me, so can't slide that any. And Bobby Thomas, he builds a heck of a power plant, and it always helps to have a good motor under the hood.